So today was a big day. Big day. Got a band-aid on the camera. All right, so if you have been following my channel or my old show or whatever for a while, you were aware that eight something plus years ago, I wrote a blog where I finally felt that I could bring honor to the name that was intended for me and my grandmother's name, Aphrodite Christina, and I was named after her, but there was this war, and so the Americanized, everything won, and so I adopted, I started going by that name back then, as anyone can see, and whether it's my art or any of my channels or pages or whatever. And that blog, well, I'll post it in the video description if you want to read it. And, while I stated there that I forever leave that name behind and, some of my reasons for doing it, I never really, it was still there. Like my shadow, I didn't choose that name, and it was given to me by people who not only didn't give a shit if I lived or died, but contributed in facilitating the latter. So, and I'm thankful for my path. I am. I'm grateful. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. So it's been in the back of my mind. And, sometimes I think maybe I always knew it wasn't me. I mean, my signature has never been legible. Yet when I sign my cards and things, Christie Aphrodite, I can write it. So yeah, even though I'm known by that, I still have an ID and a bank account and a paycheck and everything, a passport. I'm known by this name that was given to me that I don't want to be associated with in any ways, and that brings trauma to me every time I see it. So, of course, I wrestled with I don't really agree with paying slave masters to name myself or, anything. And there's a lot of damn agencies that I have to deal with and pay more money and this and that. But after weighing all that in my mind and being serious on my journey of healing trauma, it came time. It just, yeah, I'm working a lot, and, while I'm not like rolling in the dough, in fact, I have less money now than I did when I was homeless, but I'm making it. My bills are paid, and so I figured as the last step in cutting the cords and breaking the chains and those generations of abuse and trauma and torture, I had to make it final. Like, I've cut the cords in my mind, but the chains are there again every 2 weeks when I get my paycheck or go to the bank to deposit them, right? Yeah, so I mean, check this out. Like, I've never I mean, there's magic in a name, energy and everything behind it. And I don't want to really get into all that, but I'll just share with you. I mean, of course, there's rumors by psychopaths and alternative radio that want you to believe I'm the devil, and the only reason I publicly changed my name a decade ago, that's still online, to hide or deceive or something, which, clearly that's not true. I've been many names throughout my life, in fact. Okay, so I'm in a sports museum under Christie Tchaikovsky. All of my early achievements are Christie Tchaikovsky, but I opened a restaurant at 23 years old. I don't know where Taylor came from, but it came to me when I was pregnant, and I had to name my daughter something first name, Taylor, the middle name. And since I opened while I was pregnant, I decided CJ, Christie Janelle, which I would also be called that, because everybody was named Christie in softball where I grew up, or at least on my teams anyways. So CJ Taylor became the name of my restaurant. And then it continued to be my name in my other catering businesses, CJ Taylor's Illegally Delicious, CJ Taylor's Deli Cafe, and even in modeling. Yeah. I didn't use it per se on TV, but I do, my old headshot said CJ Taylor, you know. Again, that's not me. Yeah, and so I adopted my grandmother's name, her actual, name, and that is our lineage, and people who know. But today I made it final and real, and I'm really like blown away at how, how emotional it's been in a good way, and cleansing and empowering. And I feel like today is my birthday. Yeah, and it's okay. So I got rid of my middle name and I got rid of my last name, and my first name is now my middle name. And I'm not sure I want to share the rest of it, only because, there's some people that still love me so much they like to follow me around and cause problems wherever they can. So I'm just going to keep that to myself for now and my few known real friends. Yeah. I'm sure I'll share it when I feel it's right. It was a name that was given to me in my path. Over the last 4 years, I've talked about my life, death, life cycle initiation. I talked about all the dreams that led me to certain things, and Mandrake and Ekate, and certain things that I was called. Dude, seriously, I didn't choose this. I've said this before. I didn't choose any of this. It chose me. All I did was listen and follow, because what the fuck? I had nothing better to do, because anything else I tried to do to be normal would always be destroyed, taken away. So I had to learn self-love and learn who I really am. Geez Louise, and Target, seriously, consider this. If you are, how great do you have to be to have that many people after you? And some of you will say, well, they know who I am, but I don't know who I am. Well, dude, if they know who you are, don't you want to know who you are? Yeah. Okay, so now I know. I broke the chains, the generations, okay? And anything I talk about, when I share my stories, the intent is to empower other people. It's very clear there were times in my path where I didn't think I could do it, and I didn't want to, and I didn't choose. Dude, who would have chosen any of this? This whole law of attraction bullshit keeps you from your path, because the magic is when you surrender to your soul path, all right? I had no choice. I had to, right? So, thank God. I knew inside there had to be something more, and I'm curious, so I went along. And now that I made it through that, I can see clearly. And I had taken on this name, at least partially, in a few places, spelled wrong, only because, well, you know how certain social media platforms are. And I was thinking, God, is this really me? Can I really embrace and take this on fully? And what's it going to do? And, you know, and then it was funny. I was talking with my beautiful landlord and, you know, I'm realizing, oh, she's so beautiful and wise, but I was realizing how my whole life I thought I wasn't things that I actually was, like a creative artist, a genius, blah, blah, blah. Dumb things like that, which really don't define me, but, you know, knowing who I am instead of trying to fit into other people's boxes, you know, is a lot more healthy, right? So try it. I mean, really, it's tough, but it's worth it. But anyways, so that's I guess the background of the journey into adopting the name and then realizing that I really am this. And it's real. Like real on paper as much as paper is real. And, you know, I don't really believe in that if you watch my videos, but still it is so important to me. And even having to deal, I'm like volunteering, like willingly paying 20 different freaking agencies and dealing with headaches and paperwork and drama and driving all around and, you know, dealing with a system that I have done my best to really avoid and not acknowledge and stay out of. But again, if I have to, say, have a paycheck with my name on it and an ID to drive and cash it, then I might as well own it and make it mine, right? Instead of accept the magic and the energy that someone else bestowed upon me, especially people that were trying to mold me and create me to be something for their benefit. This is my path, and I share it with you because I know there are many. It blows my mind how many people I meet or send me messages, and I'm like, whoa, dude, we're fucking sisters. This is like ridiculously identical. And so I know that there are a lot of people going through these debates in their mind and these challenges and the traumas and think they can't get through it. And I'm telling you, you can. It's not easy. And it takes dedication and perseverance and the desire to love yourself above all. Thank you. What Whitney Houston? The greatest love of all. Yeah, it's inside of me. It's inside of you. And really, you can't truly love yourself until you test yourself and learn to respect yourself and learn to trust yourself and that guiding force, factor, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is in your life. I am never going to debate, you know, higher self, spirit, universe, you know, whatever you want to call it, your heart, your soul, whatever. The force is the force. It doesn't even matter if you call it the force, right? But we all have that inside ourselves. So, you know, I learned to find out who and what you are really made of and really discover what life is about. Here's a secret, dude. Seriously, it's simple. When you find something that you're so passionate about that you're willing to die for, yeah. And when you realize that the loop cycles of abuse and trauma and self-hate aren't fun and you don't want to do it anymore, I mean, you already know it's killing you. So why wouldn't you take a risk? Especially, I mean, I actually, when I kind of think about it, it's remarkable that much of my journey was documented because it just shows how real it is. and how effective this process of healing and getting real and following your spirit and trusting your intuition and knowingness. It's fucking huge testament. Sometimes I look back at the path, especially the last 4 years. I mean, my life has been a little extraordinary, honestly, but, and that's not to be braggart in any way. It's just accepting reality. I mean, who else do you know was slandered on every single news channel or is in a sports museum and living and in an art gallery and wrote their own, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's always, my life's always been extreme. It's just the way it is. It's in the stars. And I need to do another video about why everyone needs to understand astrology. But now that, you know, learning, I mean, I've always been around it and exposed to it, but still programmed that, no, it's of the devil. But really learning and paying attention to it and the transits and the houses and the aspects has really helped me see how, again, the law of attraction, you know, blah, 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 like, you can create your reality. Bullshit, dude. It's already written in the stars. You have your destiny. You have choices about how you feel about it, but you're always gonna be who you were born to be. Yep. You're always gonna have whatever challenges you were born into or whatever. It's a blueprint. It's not, you know, a magic spell. But anyways, I don't want to get off on that tangent. I'm just saying. And I actually have no idea about what the transits are today or even when I initiated the paperwork but I'll learn a lot by looking back at it and saying, oh, whoa, that's freaking crazy. Holy smokes, it's all lined up again. And I just picked it randomly. Like the randomness of where I'm living, and which of course none of it's random because it all took me listening to spirit and trusting that along the way, despite everyone else telling me I'm wrong and that's crazy and that's stupid and you're a loser, blah blah blah. And again, you can do it too. So yeah, I cut the cord today. Long generational curse. It's, yeah, I don't actually want to show the documents because I don't feel comfortable, sharing, you know, look, things like that. But I'll show you, what can I show you? Okay, there's that, filed in the date, and there's that, hereby, I'll read it. Hearing was held 4/9/18. The following persons are present. Findings based on the case record to date and the testimony at the hearing. If any, the court finds the statements in the petition are true. The request to change names is not made for any illegal or fraudulent purpose. The change of name will not be detrimental to the interests of any other person. The request to change names should be granted. Order 3, it is hereby ordered in the name of Christie Janelle Tchaikovsky is now dead. She does not exist. And thank y'all for killing me, seriously. And I'm not being sarcastic about that. Like, people want to feel sorry for me for the stuff I went through, and but and I felt sorry for me, you know, and you have to feel everything you feel when you're going through these things, but I'm so grateful and have to be just as grateful to the stalkers and all the people that tried to hurt me, because it all just helped me and helped bring me to myself and this amazing human that I am. Yep. I know who I am today. So I really, I did it. Yeah, it's crazy. So I was at work yesterday and I'm like chopping tomatoes and labeling, right? Tomatoes, 4.8. Lemons, 4.8. Green onions, 4.8, right? And putting the little stickers on. And I'm like, wow. And I just felt it in my gut. Tomorrow is the day I see a judge and it might be real. And yeah, I welled up in tears and I was crying. And fortunately, we weren't busy, but I'm like, yo, boss. Hey, yeah, I'm gonna lose it right here. And, but I'm tears of joy and release, not like, like that, but just like, whoa, I just couldn't stop it. And yeah, and again today, and even talking with my beautiful landlords and just thinking about what it's a way bigger step than I expected it to be. And I know that I willingly paid a bunch of agencies. I guess I'm promoting a fraudulent court system right now, but at the same time, we live in this world. And what the price of that for my mental health and for owning all of myself, I am so grateful. And I got a raise recently at work, so kind of it was a gift that I got to use on myself. Yeah, so read about the magic in a name and decide, are you really who you are? Do you really want to carry that on? In my case, why would I want to give glory to a name that, again, not only, wants me dead and has participated in such things, but, doesn't give a shit. Just not good. I don't need that. There's not one single Tchaikovsky that gives a fuck if I'm alive or dead. Not one. So I heard from my brother when my mom died, but that didn't go well. In fact, he still has my clothes that he promised to give me the next day, and then the next day, and then whatever. Then it's fuck you, crazy person. How dare you ask me? He's a millionaire and I'm homeless and like I can't even have my freaking clothes back. So whatever, promises, this, that. So, I mean, why would I don't know anyone. I never have. Daddy was never there. Dad. He was always there in the shadows. But never like there. Never father, never changed my tire or taught me how to, or went to a softball game or there for any of my achievements, or taught me how to fish or feed myself or go on a bike ride, No, there was no daddy. But I became my own daddy, yo. Just kidding. Okay, that's probably enough rambling. I'm gonna go pay some more agencies. Yep, fuck it. It's worth it. And that's actually, I wonder if I have a copy of the original petition, but they asked, like, why the name change, and I was completely, is that it? I was just honest. I said for my emotional health and for, to leave behind decades of abuse and trauma. So, boom. Yay. All right. Love you. Bye.